What is up, my dudes, and that one girl who wants to see how to light up my life? This is Bikes, Beards, and Brews. Let's kick that intro. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Before we kick this one off, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. New videos are coming weekly. You ring that bell, you know when they drop. Let's get the other stuff out of the way. Want to save 10% on our Cardo communicator or save some money on some Beyond Riders gear or on some Hogworks gear? Then you should definitely check my referral links down below. Want to support me in all my do-gooderness like these cool guys here? Boom! Then you should become part of the Brew Crew and join the coffee page down below. Wonder why I'm asking you for money? Well, next to that Amazon storefront affiliate link that also goes to a good cause is a link explaining what I do with your money. Get it, got it, cool, let's move on. Oh yeah, and I started making my own beard oils. They are for sale. They're in my merch store. The link is down below. Check it out and make your beard look awesome. Now let's get to the video. All right, guys, so today we are working on the Harley-Davidson Pan America Limited once more. And today we are going to be putting on new fog lights and new mirrors. And I am very excited about this. Now, overall, the Pan America Limited does come with all of the lights that Harley offers for the Pan America. And they are great. They really are great. This bike does a great job going down dark roads, dark trails. I've tested it. It's awesome. But what I did want that they do not have are just some straight fog lights. And honestly, this goes back to the headlight that I have on my Road Glide now, where it is one white and one yellow. That yellow light really makes a huge difference. It cuts through the densest of fogs. And I want to make sure the Pan Am is set up this same way. I want to make sure when I'm going down those dark roads at 1 o'clock in the morning looking for deer that I have the best lights possible to make sure that I am safe. So to do that, I'll be testing out Kemimoto 60-watt lights. These are going to be mounting on my crash bar. So yeah, it's just gonna look like a whole UFO spaceship up front, and I'm here for it, that's fine. And the other thing we're gonna be getting into today are these Kemimoto mirrors. These are definitely going to be an upgrade over what comes stock with the Harley-Davidson. So hang on a second, let's crack into these boxes and see what we've got. All right, for the Kemimoto lights, we have a pair of lights, this very nice, well-organized wire harness with resistor. Everything's all set up, ready to go. We've got clamps for the lights. You've got these inserts in case the bars you're popping them on are a little bit thinner. Not a problem. You've got your full little toolkit going on here. And honestly, the thing I'm really excited about here, check it out, check it out. Full color instructions. This is great, and it comes in a couple different languages. So yeah, let's test these out and see how accurate they are. Now with the mirrors, we went with these more rugged ones that give you a lot more options when it comes to adjustments. And with these, you've got a couple different adapters to make it fit on whichever adventure bike you have, or you've got these bar clamps where you can just mount them completely separate from where your previous standard mount was that came with the bike. So a lot of good options here. And overall, I will say the packing was fantastic in both boxes. Nice foam cutouts, everything was set in there, done really well. So I wasn't worried about any sort of damage. Like, this was a really nice presentation. So good job, Kemimoto. But now let's get into installing all this stuff. All right, so this is our current mirror setup, and inherently nothing bad with these. This is pretty much what you see on any adventure bike. You know, for the most part, all the adjustments here. If need be, you can move that arm, but we're gonna go ahead and just take these off, and we're gonna get our new ones installed. These things like go on forever. So let's see if we get lucky and these twist right in. If not, we'll use one of the adapters. These twist right in. So I got 9/16 here. I'm just making sure these are nice and tight. I don't want these mirrors to take off on me. I can't tell if I'm just not lining this up correctly or if Harley literally has two different size sockets for these mirrors. What the hell, Harley? Yeah, I think it is. No worries, Kemimoto has this covered. We just got to find the one that fits in here. They give you a couple different options just in case, you know, one isn't right. All right, nice and snug. So really, all you do is you loosen up the arm here and you set your mirrors any way you want them. There's a lot more flexibility in this just because you've got your ball joint here and your ball joint up here, so you can really you can do so much more with these mirrors, and then you can really torque them down to make sure they don't go anywhere. So honestly, with these, I'm going to need to adjust them after the bike's off the center stand and, you know, I'm sitting on the bike and I can actually check it out. But yeah, these look good. I like this. All right, let's get some lights installed, shall we? All right, so my goal is to put these here, so light will be sitting here. So because these bars are pretty small and thin, we're going to be using the inserts that Kemimoto sent us as well. Those are just going to sit right inside, nice and neat, and everything is just going to clamp on quite nicely. Spoiler alert, I already did a dry fit, so I do know that these are going to fit perfectly fine. All right, so that's where I'm aiming to have them land. It's going to be a little tricky tightening up these Allen wrenches on the back just because I have this little fairing thing here. I'm sure I could work on removing that or something, but worst case scenario, these are rubber. I could just tighten it up on an angle, use a rubber mallet and straighten them out, and everything will be perfectly fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it, it's fine. I threw a little painter's tape behind there just so as I'm kind of wrestling around with this, I don't have to worry about this rubbing up against the paint on here and scratching it up. So yeah, if you're doing the same thing, you should do that. You should definitely do that. So you can mount these two different ways. There are mounts for the top and there's mounts for the bottom. I'm choosing to use the bottom part. I'll be using some zip ties, run the wires right there. Yeah, but overall, I think that looks pretty good. I'm gonna tighten it up and then we're gonna do the other side and go from there. Oh yeah, nice and tight, we're good. So honestly, this should just be more of the same on this side. We've got our clamp, we've got our little inserts. We're gonna torque it down, get it right before the bend in the bar, and then get the lights on, and then we're gonna start running all the power lines and all that fun stuff to get these up and running. No problem. All right, let's get those lines run. According to the directions, they want you to run the red, green, and black to the battery. However, Pan Am's battery is down here. Now, in theory, I could run the wires to this battery. However, if I recall correctly, I think there's actually connections under the seat for when you're running stuff like auxiliary lights and all that. So let's pull the seat off and let's see if I'm correct. But I'm pretty sure there's just a positive and a negative there that runs straight to the battery that you can connect these wires to. Let's look. All right, I thought there were external connections right here. These are not external connections to your battery. Don't connect electricity to these. This looks like your brake lines or something like that. So yeah, don't mess with these. We'll seek an alternative. So plan B, I previously set up an auxiliary port to go to some USB ports on the side over here that I'm using to charge my cell phone. So I am just going to add this to this and we should be good. Everything has its own inline fuses, so if anything does go wrong, bike shouldn't start on fire. Shouldn't. We'll see. Let's go. Spliced my wires together, added some male and female connectors, you know, just so I can separate them as needed. And I'm just throwing a little electrical tape around the base just for a little extra insurance, make sure nothing goes awry under here. Let's be honest, motorcycles vibrate, they shake, things get moved around. It's always good to have a backup plan. So that's what we're doing with this. I really like this accessory port I got. It just makes it easier to plug stuff in, connect everything nicely, make sure it's neat and clean, and not have to run all kinds of crazy like wiring down to the battery up front and whatnot. All right, it's plugged in. Let's plug this in. What do you think? Over under on if it's gonna explode? No explosions yet. The Carpio ride came on. I'll check my USB later. That's really the lowest man on the totem pole right now. Let me go ahead and get this situated somewhere under here though, so it's neat and clean out of the way. And then let's go ahead and run our wires. So we've got 3 cables we've got to manage. One to each light, and then our on-off button. I'm actually gonna get one of the lights plugged in real quick, or both the lights, because I got a straight line here, and just test this button, make sure everything works before I go through the headache of running cables. There is a little groove here on each of these, so you can line up these plugs much easier. And there's some gaskets and a nice little screw down here just to make sure everything stays nice and watertight. All right, do you guys want to be the first to see if these lights work? Hold on. All right, everything's on, right? Yeah. Let's see. Ooh, there's different settings. What's up with that? That's kind of weird. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. So I can go from yellow to emergencies to more emergencies to clear. So yeah, I got a few options there. I wonder if there's a way to just set it statically so it's always yellow. I'll look into that. All right, so I think ideally I'm gonna pull this bolt and see if I can just mount it right here, because this seems like it's going to be a set it and forget it sort of button, but I do want to make sure that I have access to it, and also it's out of the way so I'm not accidentally hitting it while I'm riding. Hopefully the hole is big enough. Yeah, that works. Cool. All right, so we could get all fancy, pull the gas tank, run some lines like that, but there are actually lines already being run by Harley themselves, OEM lines right here, where I'm just going to zip tie right onto those. Clearly this is out of the way of the engine, so this should make it so it's nice, neat, clean, look like it belongs there, and we should be perfectly fine. I'm gonna leave a little slack just in case. Last thing you want is any of these wires being pulled and kinked and whatever else, so they end up breaking at some point. Leave a little love. There you go. Where are the wires? I don't know. Must be OEM. It's cool. It's cool. Let's take care of the other side. We're almost done. All right, guys, bike is back together. There's really nothing else to do except wait until nighttime and test these out and see how they look. It is 10:30 at night. It is nice and dark, and we are going to be testing these lights. So what I did learn is the lights are off by default when you start your bike, which is good because I haven't quite found a way to shut them off once you turn them on. So once you turn them on and you're riding, those lights are on until you shut your bike off. Unless there's a magic code or something on this power button I have yet to discover. That's not a big deal, honestly, because if I'm turning them on, it's for a very good reason. Let's check these out, shall we? So that is the white light, and when that came on, I think you could see the huge difference. These things are intense, and that's not even just it. Hold on. Let's go to the fog lights, shall we? Look at that. That is so damn noticeable. Like, I was kind of worried. I wasn't sure how different it was going to be, how much of a change there was going to be, but it is beyond noticeable. You can't miss this. These are so bright. So yeah, on a non-foggy night like this white light is perfect. I mean, this is just cutting and throwing much further than the stock lights that are on this bike already. And then on a foggy night, bam, we got that yellow. All right, let's throw it back to me in the garage and we'll wrap this video up, shall we? All right, guys, that's what I've got. What do you got? Did you like the mirrors? Did you like the lights? Sound off in the comments down below. You can find both on the Kemimoto website, or you can find them on Amazon and a couple other different places. Kemimoto does move their stuff around, so it's easy to find. But definitely check those out. And aside from that, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, share this video with friends, share it with family, share it with that one dude you know who's like, I really wish I had some more light in my life. Here you go, bro. Loves this stuff, trust me. I'll see you all on the flip side.